What is up, guys? Wallow J here, and I'm here with my co-host Egg. Egg, say what's up to the peoples.
What's up to the peoples?
Also joining us, our other co-host. He is a dream. The dream, Stephen Aiken. Say what's up, Stephen.
What's up, everybody?
Man,
He still hasn't figured it out yet. He still hasn't
Is that
figured
the
it out
bit? Oh, I'm sorry.
yet. No. I mean, last time. I mean, it
I'm
was
still
good
waiting
last.
for you to be
last
like,
week.
yeah,
It's
what's
better.
up, bros?
I mean,
Oh,
so-
sorry, my
coming in?
bad. Everybody else is kind of
Okay.
chill, or they just repeat what you said. And I'm not sure how that works yet. My bad. I think I'm on another side of the spectrum than you guys.
Maybe, but we'll get it. We'll get it. And joining us, he is a PGF vet from season 3, and he is also confirmed now for PGF World 6.
Yes.
It's
Yep.
Kevin Beuhring. Say what's up,
guys?
Kevin.
What's up, everybody? Glad to be on.
Say what's up to our 3 followers. What's up?
Yep. Yeah.
Shout
Definitely
out
one
to
of
the
them's
people
my
on
dad.
Twitch.
He is.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's in here all
The
the
biggest,
time.
the biggest fan of this podcast, 100%.
We appreciate that.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
Me,
right.
Alex.
Because we rock. I'm trying to do that thing but it's not working. But anyway, so last time we saw you, you came into a little town, kind of like Godzilla, destroyed it, and left.
Yep.
Pretty fucking impressive, if I may say so.
I appreciate it, man.
So,
Thank you.
so the
So,
question
but-
there, Wallet, were you talking about the Jacksonville qualifier? They smoked everyone in, or are you talking about the PGF in Decatur?
I'm talking about the PGF finale indicator.
I'm just saying he did both. Two fairly
Yeah.
small towns smoked them both.
Well, Jacksonville's a metropolis, bro. So
Oh, Metropolis.
yeah.
Okay, fine.
Anyway, but the last time I saw him, that's when I was talking about, which
Okay.
was Indicator. All right, PGF finale, bro. Listen, you gotta give your teammates a chance to get in there every once in a while.
Mm.
Like I was looking at Chase Hanna, and I'm like, are you guys going in or what? Mm-mm.
Nope.
It's insane because we had Elijah about 2 weeks ago, and he says Kevin Beuhring's the best guy in the room.
Ah.
Bro,
He's
that's no
definitely
lie.
hyping me up. I appreciate the
You
compliment.
can go
but-
back to the podcast. He said it. I believe him. So
He did say Elijah said
I
it.
mean, we also asked him
Appreciate
who
you,
do you
Elijah.
think
The jabroni.
who would you think would help you the most? Getting that pot. That 20 grand for himself out of the 100. He said
Yeah.
Kevin Beuhring.
Yep.
So
You said you're
And
the
vice
scariest
versa.
guy in the room.
Vice versa.
Scariest guy in the room. You, my friend.
That's good to hear. I don't know if it's true, but I mean, I love the compliment.
listen, so we have a ton of new fans coming in, and not they don't know all the guys like we do. So why don't you tell us a little bit about how you found Sean, and what got you into jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, so I'll just kind of run through a long story short. So when I was in high school, I got into a fight and I got my ass kicked, like just completely kicked. He actually, I thought we were gonna get into a fist fight, and the first thing he did was double leg me and mounted me and beat the shit out of me. So then I was like, okay, I can never let that happen again. I have to, eat as much food as possible and go lift weights. That was my answer. That was my 17-year-old answer. So I think I was 160 or something like that. Ended up gaining a ton of weight getting into the gym, like 190. And then about a year goes by, and my friend's like, hey, do you want to come try this jiu-jitsu thing? I was like, yeah, whatever. I'll show these guys, like, kind of what's up. I'm 190. It was kind of like I don't know if you guys have heard of like the Bradley Martin joke, like, I'm 260 though. Like that meme. But it was similar. Like I'm coming in with like the biggest ego ever, just completely oblivious about what's about to happen to me. So my first rolls with like Steven Dana, and I think he tapped me probably 25 times in like 5 minutes. And then after that, I mean, it was set from there, you know.
It's like I
Full
cannot
I was
let that happen again.
yeah, good. I was like, "Okay, I got it all wrong. This is definitely where I need to be." And then yeah, the rest is history.
So for the
So-
fans, Steven Dana is a former PGF competitor himself, just a killer. So Kevin walked himself into a buzzsaw.
Yep.
Congrats, my friend.
100%.
So, but back to you, Wallo.
100%.
Oh yeah, no, I mean he answered my question.
Yeah.
And so,
Now,
hold
go
on.
ahead.
We're talking about recent competitions that you've had, Kevin.
Okay.
And just looking at some stuff that was on here recently, that the Louisville 3-on-3 team thing is just like, it's like, oh, he had 2 losses on this day. Let me look at these 2 names. And
Yep.
it was Josh Yelverton and Nicholas Albin. And I was like, oh, okay.
So it was actually Elijah.
oh,
And,
was it?
And yeah, Chewy.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So it wasn't
yeah.
like either way, Yelvo was obviously.
Yeah, he was on
I-
that team.
I was like,
For
oh,
sure.
okay. Well, maybe. Okay. Well, that's not that bad. That wouldn't be
Yeah,
that bad of
no.
it.
Josh is a beast.
He's a beast for sure.
Yes.
He's a large
100%.
man. That's really tough. But so, and it was Chewy also.
Yeah, Chewy.
Okay. How was that role?
It was good, man. It was good experience. He was extremely strong and really good. I didn't expect him to be so strong and very calm. And I think I learned a lot from that match in particular.
Yeah.
Just like I think that was one of my first really having a match with like a high level black belt.
I got you.
So yeah,
Mhm.
it was a good experience for sure.
Very cool.
So, if I may, Wallo,
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Kevin, let's go over a little bit of your resume. You're the Zapatero Invitational 170-pound champion, right?
Yep.
Midwest
So by the
finishers.
way, before you continue, sorry, Egg.
I'm trying to do a clip here, but
they're
okay. go
also
ahead.
going to be paying $100,000.
Yeah.
So
The
For the
160
tournament coming
tournament.
up. All right.
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm gotta try to get
Sorry,
down
Egg.
there.
My bad.
We'll see how
I
that
just
goes,
wanted to
but-
point
I was
that
trying
out.
to give you a clip, Wallo.
My bad.
All right. Can I? May I
clip this. Somebody
it.
clip this.
All right. Thank you, Wallo.
Here he comes, everybody.
So, Kevin Beuhring, let's go over your resume. All right. So, you're the Zapatero 170-pound champion, Midwest Finishers 170-pound champion, Summit Grappling 3-time absolute champion and Grappler of the Year. You hold
Of the
fa-
year.
You hold the fastest submission record for 5 different grappling promotions. You're an ADCC Open silver medalist and an MCCJ co-main event winner in 26 seconds. I mean, you won the PGF qualifier as a white belt. I mean, you've been training for a year, and you were in the top 5 in PGF season 3. Are you ready for the season, sir?
100%, man. 100%. I feel like I've only gotten better since, the last PGF, more well-rounded, and very excited for the competition to come, to say
I
the
mean,
least.
you got at least like 3 years, right? I mean, 3 years since the last time we saw you. About.
Yeah.
I mean, how? So tell us about your training regimen.
Yeah, so I'm full-time, honestly. Like, 6 days a week, 1 to 2 times a day.
So just Sean's gym all the time. You cross train. You go other
Yeah.
places. What do you do?
So I'll do open mats here and there. I'm actually gonna go to an open mat today, but usually Sundays we take off. And then from there, I'm pretty much just Sean's gym. Like cross training's a little hard just because the gyms around us are predominantly gi. So there's not like too many opportunities to cross train, but when we can, we definitely do.
Do you guys get a lot of people dropping in for cross training that are more interested in no-gi that may be at some of the gi schools in the area?
Yeah, definitely. A lot of the instructors at these schools actually come through, and the black belts will come through in the morning. Really common.
Mhm.
to learn from Sean and everything, get the rolls in.
Yeah, how many of
That's
them
very
you
That's really
smoke?
cool to get those looks.
And you smoke
Huh?
them, don't you? You smoke them, don't you? Those
Uh,
instructors. Come on,
Why are
come
you
on.
putting him on the spot like
No,
that, bro?
Nah,
no,
People
because
gotta
it's
come
true.
back.
Because it's true.
Nah.
No way. He learns a lot every time.
Yeah, I learned. Learning.
Yeah, we saw black belts be scared of you before, man. When you were
No
a
way.
baby blue
No
belt.
way. He'd never say that. He'd never say that.
No, that's just Egg. Just hyping him up like
Wait,
that. Come on.
really? Elijah came in and said, "When you touch Kevin, you're afraid. You're in danger the whole time." That's Elijah, the bad guy. The jabroni said that.
The jabroni. Yep. My man.
Well, he's got a broken foot anyway, so of course he's scared.
Easy takeout.
Yeah.
Hey, so looking at season 3, what were your biggest takeaways from that season? Like as far as your game, like what did you learn about your game that maybe needed some work?
Yeah, I think like some of the biggest takeaways is how useful it is to get used to competition. So like consistently competing because everybody gets those jitters or butterflies, whatever, nervous tingles, whatever you want to call them.
Excitement. That's just you're being
Excitement.
psyched.
Yeah, all that type of stuff. The first day, and as you go on throughout the week, you can really see how useful it is to be able to compete so consistently and getting comfortable in that environment. And you can really see yourself like starting to make better decisions, thinking clearer, listening to your corner more as the week goes through. So I think that really made me realize like competing every week and competing every other weekend is definitely the way to go, especially as like uh, a newer competitor or an underboat. Yeah.
So I know that I left after the season. Was that 2? I guess is the one. After 2, and I was still pretty healthy after the regular season, and
Mm.
I was we waited and did the playoffs like I forget how long.
Like 3
It
months
was like
later.
2 months.
Right. And
Oh wow. Yeah.
kind of like you said, is like that was the most matches I'd ever had in my grappling career in that
Yeah.
short of amount of time for sure. And
For
so
sure.
like I was still feeling pretty healthy. Some of the other people I didn't think were. And I was like, man, I'd like to run it back like almost the full season again right now with this kind of like momentum that's built and being healthy and stuff like that. Is that what you kind of were feeling too after you got through is what it sounds like?
Yeah, for sure. There's always like a give and take because a week long of competitions 3 times a day is going to take a toll on the body, and you are risking injury every time you go out there, especially this season with such high level competitors. But in terms of like mental clarity and mindset, yeah, definitely. Like getting that competition experience as much as possible is extremely helpful to say the least.
Egg, you got something? Because I see you like.
Yeah, and like that's what I was waiting on too. Like you're about to snap into some.
No, I was just looking at the
I was
stats.
like,
I mean,
do I go? Does he go?
no, you're so Kevin. I mean, obviously, it still blows my mind. You came in with 1 year of training, behind you. You trained for about just about 1 year. You didn't actually get your blue belt until you won the Jacksonville qualifier.
Yeah.
You won the Jacksonville qualifier as a white belt,
Yeah.
smoking everyone.
Yep.
And I love it because I mean, if I look back to the Jacksonville qualifier, one of my favorite things is like everyone's so afraid of you going for their legs that you faked the leg and you went to the back on one of the gentlemen and just choked the hell out of them. But as I see, as I see it right now, out of all the 12 matches you had in season 3, you only had 1 loss.
Yep.
You had 1 and
J-Rob,
7.
Right?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
So you're 7-1-4. I mean, 4 people actually were. Let's just admit it. The other 4 people, like, they ran away from you.
Yeah.
We saw a lot of people do a whole lot of running away from you. They were scared as hell.
100%.
You were a killer. So I mean, I don't know, man. I think and maybe let Stevens hop in here for a second. But you were that baby blue belt that had that one setup, like you had that one skill set that was just scaring the hell out of everyone. So I guess the question is, in the 2 to 3 years since then, what have you added? I mean, obviously we know you're a leg locker like crazy. What else you got?
Yeah, I mean, I think my game has completely changed since the first PGF, you know? Honestly, like, at this point, I feel like I'm more of a top player than a bottom player. Even though I do pull guard, I definitely am looking more to, like, sweep and get on top than I am just shooting leg blocks, you know? I think, like, with the wrestle up meta has really helped me a lot for people who are kinda, like, stalling and trying to, like, play back, like, keep away. Just being able to come up and actually chase them and pin them to the floor is nice. So I think that's good in two parts. First, you know, increases my percentage of winning, and it makes the match more exciting. Um, so yeah, man, I would say my game has honestly just completely changed since then. I still do play guard. I still do go for leg locks, but much more rounded competitor now than I was before.
That makes me so happy to hear that.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah, after
Well,
I just completely got sick of people running away from me, I was like, "Fuck
Mhm.
this. I'm just gonna come up and pin
Well,
these people to the mat and, you know, take their back."
that's one of the criticisms to the style of submission only in a lot of ways is that the guys who can really play a deadly guard game can just sit there and make you kind of come towards them, or then it just becomes like a really boring situation where there's one guy sitting scooting and the other guy's just kind of dancing around.
Yeah, just running
Um,
away, yeah.
and so if you are the dominant player like that, then man, I respect that. You got to get up and you got to get your hands on them and get them down, and you got to keep them down. I,
100%, yeah.
I appreciate that mindset, you know, and I'm glad to hear that because coming, you know, I started doing jujitsu for MMA. That was what got me into it, and then I just really enjoyed it and love it and kept doing it, you know, and had like an outlet for competition and stuff. But that was always the mindset was like, if you're not on top, you got to get on top, you know, for the most part. And then when you're on top, you got to keep them down because everybody's trying to wrestle up. They don't want to be stuck on their back. So
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
pinning strategies and different things like that were really, really emphasized and important. And so I'm happy to see that kind of stuff coming like back around and being important again because it used to be like, oh yeah, there's no reason to break turtle down, or you know, nobody's really playing turtle or anything like that. And it's like, well, now everybody's playing turtle because there's a lot of styles, you know, or ADCC, you got to be able to score on people and get these kind of things going. So yeah, man,
Yeah,
that's exciting to
100%.
hear that guys like you for sure are getting that message of, well, I'm just going to get up and put you down anyway. So respect.
Yeah,
Hey,
appreciate it, man.
real quick, Wallow, just want to give a good shout out to our biggest fan, Tiago. Tiago out there in the comments. Hey, brother. Good to see you back there again.
I didn't even see the comment, and I got my glasses.
I mean, you got the glasses on even. I mean, I don't know. So Tiago says, hey, it's pretty impressive you won. Talking about the Jacksonville qualifier, the whole thing with 1 year training. I couldn't even shrimp when I had 1 year of training. Kudos to you, man. Tiago knows where it's at. Kevin, you're prodigy.
Thank you, Tiago.
Yeah, you're the man. You're gonna be dangerous. I mean, we already knew you were dangerous. Back in Decatur for season 3. I mean, like I said, you had black belts running away from you, and now you're gonna make like ADCC medalists run away from you, or not, because if they don't run away
that's
from
the
you,
thing. You can't run in this tournament. You know, tournaments. You know, when you're running away, you're trying to stall and maybe draw somebody out. A draw's not going to get anybody points. It's not going to get them
Yeah.
points unless that is the strategy that they're implementing. And like, hey, I need you to stall him out so our team can get, maintain a lead or whatever.
Mhm.
Then
But-
yeah.
But let's be honest. Let's be honest, Kevin. We love you. We know you. But for some of these other elite guys like this, if they just see your name on there, obviously they know you're from 10th Planet Atlanta and you have a great pedigree and things like that. But you of the names on there, you got to think that some of these guys think, well, he's the one that I've got to like score 6 on or dunk on or whatever of these other guys on here. I think that's going to maybe play in your favor some, where guys are going to be really maybe opening up to get after you a little bit.
Very
man,
willing to engage.
Show you some stuff that you haven't really seen locally and things like that maybe. So that's exciting, man. And How do you feel about that?
Feel about what in particular?
Just getting the opportunity to go against some of these guys in a situation where you know they're gonna probably be like coming after you and like really opening up, not looking for like a points kind of scenario where they're stalling for
Yeah,
3 minutes
yeah.
or whatever. Like you just got to get after it the whole time.
Oh yeah, man. I feel super good about it. I mean, I'm super excited. I mean, my goal since I've, started jiu-jitsu has been to face the highest level of competition and try to figure out, what they bring to the table and how I can kind of like, crack the puzzle. So, and not having to worry about points is always nice. You can kind of play your entire game. I think our team's more of a submission-oriented team. So it's nice not having to, if they pass my guard or something, I don't have to turtle to get up. I can actually work side control escapes, not having to worry about advantages and somebody scoring 2 and then running away from me. It's gonna be just like actual jiu-jitsu the entire time. So I'm very excited for that.
Have you seen the people that are already being announced, and what do you know about them, if you have?
Okay, so I saw Majid Hage, is it, got announced?
Yeah, he's out now.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Egg.
all I
That
know
wasn't
about him
public.
is
What? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, what?
That wasn't to be released.
Oh, was it?
No, just carry on.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Move on.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay,
It
okay.
was. You're fine, Kevin. What you said is all fine.
Okay, word. Yeah, Majid Hage. All I know about him is he rolls in a t-shirt and he's pretty good at leg locks. And he did well in the South American trials. So I'm sure he's a very tough guy. I haven't really watched too many of his matches, but I'm sure he's tough. Andy Varela, of course, a beast. I'm very excited, like as a fan, to watch him compete. Honestly, in the PGF rule set. Uh, who else
AJ
was
Agazan.
announced? AJ. I honestly, he was kind of like before my time, like when he was stirring up like a lot of drama and stuff. But I know he's kind of like the heel, so I don't really know too much about him. But I know he talks.
You
He
know
talks
he's
a
the
lot of shit.
heel.
Yeah,
But then,
yeah.
and then so along that same line, then how does someone like Hodger Gracie, how does he like
Oh,
fit
okay. Yeah, I didn't even
into
think
your
about that.
jujitsu lore, being such a, like you just said, like AJ was a little bit before your time. Even for me, that's
Yeah,
crazy to hear that. But obviously it's just like I'm old now, so I gotta
yeah,
I
yeah.
gotta get that. But like someone like Hodger, how does he fit into your like jujitsu?
Oh, dude, I'm a huge fan of Hodger. I think like when he talks about jiu-jitsu, I love to listen to him. I love to watch his jiu-jitsu, and I like all of his philosophies and how he does jiu-jitsu. So I'm very excited to like meet Hodger and potentially learn from him. I
So
really like
is
how
it
he
safe to
approaches
say
like.
that that would be? Is it safe to say that that would be your ideal coach for the season?
Hodger, honestly, probably. I mean, I would love Eddie too because I haven't really gotten to like really meet Eddie. Like I've shook his hand before and stuff, but not like real conversations. And of course, Eddie's from our lineage, so
Right.
and I know that's like Sean's mentor or somebody Sean really respects. So, and Sean's somebody I really respect. So you always want to meet those type of guys. But Hodger is also Hodger, so that's,
I mean,
so
arguably, Higa Machado. I mean, if you go up the
yep,
lineage, the Machados are
yeah,
are,
definitely.
are above Eddie. He got Jean
That's
Jacques,
true.
was where he
That's
got
true.
from.
Yeah, I
So it's
completely
still the
forgot
same
about that.
fam. I mean,
Yeah,
honestly, and obviously you go above that, you get the Gracies. So I mean,
yeah,
So
yeah.
Hegan and Hodger's dad were training at the same time. I don't know if they were on the same team back then, but they were like of that same era of jujitsu. It could be, they could be years apart at this point, maybe kind of where they didn't overlap a ton. But I know that it's about that same wave of guys to where Hodger's dad was one of the main players around that. I think that, I just don't know if they're on the same team. I'd have to look that up again.
no, they both trained
Interesting.
under Holes. But they both trained under Holes Gracie. So I mean, that makes a lot of sense. You're right, Stephen. I mean, I did a lot of
super cool.
research for that article, brother.
No, no, no. I'm not. I'm not. I didn't. I'm not disputing any of that stuff with you. I'm just thinking that in this moment, kind of through with everybody right here. That's kind of crazy to think about it, in that way too.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Very, very
definitely.
cool. Very cool situation that we've all found ourselves in.
Yeah,
I mean, and so obviously you got Eddie, Hegan, Hodger, and Andre Galval. So you might just
yeah,
like
yeah.
here one of
One of the greatest
one of the
ADCC
greatest guys in
competitors
ACC.
ever. It's like, oh man.
Oh no.
Yeah, exactly.
That
Andre
does.
would be great too. Honestly, I would be happy with anyone. Honestly.
Dude, it's like you can't go wrong with any of these guys.
Yeah, 100%.
Steven, you had something? You were saying
I'm
something?
just zoning out, thinking about how this is just the connecting dots again. Sorry.
It's okay.
Because just
Hey,
like Andre, almost to a degree, Andre's almost kind of being forgotten in a way, and for us and for me is Eddie is Eddie. I've gotten to train and meet Eddie and talk to Eddie. Obviously, being a 10th Planet like school owner and things like that too. But I'm under not directly him, under Boogie, similar like
Mhm.
Kevin's under someone else also.
Yeah.
But having him as like the head of the lineage is definitely, like a cool thing, and it's important. And he's just as good of a coach or whatever as anyone else. I've just never had the opportunity to train with Andre or really be around him in a way.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I wouldn't know what to expect. So to me, he's sort of fallen in a degree, and for no reason other than just like the unfamiliarity of it all. Because I bet for some people coming in, Andre is going to be like the top choice, and rightfully so. He's proven that his team and his methods and different things being together, they produced several of the top guys over the last several years as well.
Mhm.
I was just thinking about all that stuff. Sorry, that's maybe not for here.
No, it's a
No, this is
good
for
conversation.
sport.
I mean, because
Yeah.
you got to think about like Andre built Atos. He built it. I mean,
Mhm.
it's
It's a lot.
in 20 plus countries. Atos has won the team championship, world championships multiple years. Every year, at least either overall or females, kids, they're always winning or they're in that top three every single year. You think about Andre is not only in the ADCC and IBJJF Hall of Fame. He's in both. All right, he's in
Mhm.
both just himself. But then he has built champions as well. You think about the Rotolos. You think about all the killers that go through there. He got just Hinger on his team. I mean, there's an insanity amount of people that he's had on there that he's building the champions. And so, hey, guess what, Kevin? If Andre picks you, you're in a good place, brother. You're
Yeah,
in a great
100%.
place.
100%.
All right, so Tiago's got something. Sorry, while you put it up there.
Yeah. It's like, do you realize how lucky you guys are? People
Absolutely.
out there. Yeah. Listen,
Yeah.
Steven just pointed it out. We came into this, and we're very lucky to be part of this. Personally, I'm not going to bother any of those coaches because I'm there to do a job. But
I'm just gonna try to stay cool.
I'm just gonna be like this.
It's gonna be hard. People are asking me like, people are asking me this stuff, and they're like, "Are you excited or whatever?" It's like, yeah, it's just gonna be really hard for me to stay cool, like I was. I feel like it with everybody else. It's like these guys. I hope I still know how to act and get around everybody. It's gonna be. It's gonna. I do feel that lucky, and like it's wild to even think that this is going down like that. So hell yeah, I feel super lucky, and I'm excited to go make it a show. Guys like
I
Kevin
can
here.
Yep. Yeah,
I can
very
I can
excited.
see Dream being like Chris Farley talking to like Hodger. Be like, "Hey Hodger, remember that match you had against Paqueta?
So listen, like
Yeah, that was
definitely
really cool."
he was of the era when I was young and like chilling, coming up like you studying, staying, sleeping in the gym, sleeping, waking up and training, eating, everything like that. Nothing but living that life, Uh guys like Hodger were on the scene and really tearing it up. And again, that classic kind of jiu-jitsu style. You get on top, he'll mount you, and you knew what was coming and you couldn't stop it. And that kind of inevitable style, man, is like that's the highest form in a lot of ways to me. I love seeing the dynamic, transitions and all the things that we can do. That stuff's fun. I love playing and like enjoying jiu-jitsu in that way. But when it's time to get down, if you can just mount everybody and then like kill them from there, is like that's killer. Like that's the top form, to me. And then everybody gets older. Everybody, time marches on. It's undefeated. Nobody can beat that. Other people have came along, and for me, like I switched to maybe like a Buchecha and definitely like Marcelo Garcia, guys like that, of the era. But thinking about like now we got the guys right before Hodger even are like part of this thing that we're doing now, and then the era right after Hodger with Andre Galvo being the leader of the pack for the last several years of competitors at this kind of ADCC champion level, absolute kind of level championship stuff. So I don't know, lucky if that's the word, or 20 years overnight success, whatever it is. I'm just happy to be doing this crap, man. It's super fun.
I mean, you think about it, like Hodger wasn't just tearing it up; he was freaking dominating. I mean, he's the only competitor to win his weight class and the absolutes with 100% submission rates in ADCC, destroying people. I mean, he is the GOAT. I mean, hey, current people, try to argue, and I don't think he even argues that. Hodger was dominant, and I think, pardon me, I almost cursed, but I mean, Elijah came on here.
You can cuss, shit.
All right. Well, shit. So I mean, Elijah came on here and he's like, "Hey, even if I'm not on his team, I'm just gonna, what can you tell me about Mount? What?
Yeah.
just
exactly.
But even to that point, Kevin, I mean, you think about, Higa Machado, 8 years undefeated. I mean, 365 wins.
Yeah.
He I mean, like 365, like every day of a year, he picked in competition essentially during his competing time. I mean, Eddie beating Hoist,
Hoyler.
No, sorry, Hoyler. I apologize. Hoyler, thank you so much. Did a lot of research on the Gracies. There's a lot of names going on there.
Got
a lot of R's. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, there's
I get
a lot
it.
of R's. But
your article did say Hoyler, so yeah.
Yeah. So Hoyler, both like in ADCC, and then arguably it was a draw in Morris, but people can argue later on. But
it showcased the system, but under the rules said it was definitely a draw. It was nice for the world to see Eddie, get to play the game, and someone like Hoyler, he ate a lot of submission attacks that I think would tap a ton of people. So it definitely showcased the system, though, in a way that Eddie was able to really capitalize on, and we all have been able to. Even this show even is a benefit of that one match with Metamoris, because that was like a new wave of the system really coming on for the mainstream. We started not being the redheaded stepkids as much. It started being like cool to be 10th Planet and stuff a little bit.
Proved it was legit. But I mean, the point being, Kevin, is that like you pointed out then in your first season of the PGF that you learned about like, fighting through the jitters, learning how to compete. And now you have four coaches, pardon me, that, man, they've been there. They've done that. They've been through it all. And so even if they don't improve your technique, which I bet all of them could, just give little pointers. But if nothing else, they might be able to give you a little bit of pointers about like, dealing with adrenaline, dealing with that adrenaline dump, all that stuff, learn how to compete. What do you think about that? What do you want to learn from them?
Yeah, I mean,
everything.
As much as I can, honestly. Yeah, I think you brought up a good point about them being like great competitors. In a week span, it's going to be pretty hard for them to for Hodgers to teach me his mount game. You know what I'm saying? And Eddie teaching me his rubber guard game and stuff like that. I might be able to pick, up a couple things, like you said, but and more so like the overarching like philosophies of the guys, how they compete, how they get ready for matches, how the longevity of these guys, not getting too high, not getting too low, all that type of stuff. I think, I could potentially learn a lot in that week span from them.
I think the interesting thing kind of about what you just said there too. Sorry, Wallow. But like you said, you don't think maybe Hodger could teach you his whole mount game or Eddie could teach you his whole rubber guard game. But I think if you were primed for one of those messages in some way, like you had done something that was very good but could be better from the mount, or you had some like slack somewhere in the rubber guard that you were working on and you almost hit something, those little tips that they would bring that other people wouldn't have to something that you're already
Definitely.
working on. I think that's where the guys are going to get that most benefit, instead of being like, okay, teach me everything you can about mount this week while I'm in the middle of this competition. It'll be like, hey, in this match, you should have picked up your knee and slid that foot, and stuff like that.
Yeah, completely game changing too. Like, the details make.
At this level,
how's this saying go? The details make what? There's like some sort of saying that says
that's some stuff. That's Egghead would say that.
The devil's in the details.
Yes, that's the one I was looking for. Thank God you fucking remembered that.
We
That
knew
would've
he would
pissed
be
me
here.
off.
That's why he's
Yeah,
here.
the devil's in the details. Yep.
20 pounds.
Hey, you mentioned not getting too high or too low. Do you do any sort of mental preparation just so you're staying at an even, level all the time? Or
Yeah, definitely try to do. I think mental preparation for competition is some of the most important things you can actually do for your uh, competitive career. Uh, just like, and for me, I would say I'm just now like really getting into the mental side of the things. But I would keep it really simple, like, the conscious breathing, getting your heart rate down, meditation, stuff of this nature. But like, it's funny you mentioned that because I'm definitely like real big into it now, where maybe before I wasn't so much.
right on.
I
Now
think that's natural progression.
Yeah.
we have a season 3 champ coming back for this season as well. Looking forward to running that back with him.
Yeah, definitely. David Evers.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be exciting.
of course.
That's exciting. Yeah. Definitely wanted to
Ooh.
test myself against him.
Was that the finale?
Yeah,
It
we
was
had
in the
2
playoffs.
matches.
In the playoffs,
Yeah. One was in the playoffs and then one was in the regular season.
Oh, there's 2. Okay.
Yeah. The first one went to a draw,
Yep.
and then the
Okay.
second one,
Okay, that's what. Okay.
he owed me. So
Yeah, he was
I'm really
pretty hot.
excited for that.
He was pretty hot that night at the
Yeah,
finale.
yeah. No, he's really good,
No doubt.
And the thing
And
that makes
he's
like,
not. Go ahead.
What were you saying?
Go ahead. No,
I
I
was
was
saying,
just gonna say
my bad, Wallow. Right at the same time. Am I going?
Yes, Kevin.
All right, me. Okay. The thing that makes David Evers interesting is he's obviously like super good, super technical, but he's also has like such a unique body type that every move you've ever done in jiu-jitsu has to be adjusted just a little bit to make it work on him. Every triangle you lock up, every leg entanglement you get into has to be adjusted just because, his body type is so unique. And yeah, I'm very excited to have a match with him because it's definitely an interesting puzzle to solve.
So, I mean, for the fans out there, David Evers is built like a spark plug. The man, like the brick shit house, as they say. He's somewhat small in stature, but huge, and also wicked smart. As we all know, he's a freaking rocket scientist.
Wicked smart.
Wicked smart. I lived in Boston for a few years. Come on. So yeah, he's dangerous. Excited. So here's the thing. I think of all the competitors, believe it or not, I'm excited the most for you, Kevin, and for him.
Yeah,
People
that's awesome.
that the rest of the people are not going to appreciate if they don't like go back and watch the PGF and realize how dangerous the two of you are. You, my friend, I know you will be getting some subs on some people that people do not believe should happen. You're going to get some of those upsets on paper because they like we said, they're going to open up because they might think you might be dunkable, but you're going to dunk them. I know it's going to happen, and I think the same thing's going to happen with David too. He's get the two of you guys are going to get some
Yeah,
subs
definitely.
that no one believes are going to happen. I know it's going to happen, sir.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
very exciting.
excuse me. Kevin, he played a strategy David did during the regular season. He said last time to where he kind of let some matches maybe go in scenarios that he would have fought out of in other scenarios, or went for draws, or I think he had a couple of submission losses during the regular season that he let go of. Are you guys thinking anything about stuff like that? Like, you don't want to get like an early in the week injury of some sort to try to like have like a ego contest with a guy early on to try to make it through the whole week, or are you still just going to kind of get after it, like you do?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely an aspect to this where you need to be tapping early. You can't be getting taken out in the first day. That could be detrimental to your points.
Evan DeWitt.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, yeah. Didn't David got him right?
Yes. And Wallow said
Yes.
that, by the way, Evan. Wallow said that, not me.
I did. He was out the first day. He
Yeah,
knows it.
yeah. No, that's a good example.
It's
Yeah,
no secret.
It's
got snapped
happened to
off
multiple
pretty
people.
bad. Yeah, yeah. So, there's definitely an aspect where you're gonna pace yourself throughout the week. I'm not gonna let my arm snap on the first day. Maybe in the finale I will, but not on Monday. So that's definitely something to think about. I think going to draws is a little silly, just because it's 6 minutes. I mean, you don't really have to. What's the word I'm looking? Like, preserve yourself for 6 minutes.
You ain't gotta
You
be
can
a
really.
bitch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
you don't
really.
have to pace yourself. I mean, the
Yeah,
point
you can
is,
really go after it first. It's only 6 minutes. But in terms of like
Right.
holding out in joint locks, you definitely want to tap. That's definitely not a good idea in a
But it's
week-long
18 minutes
competition.
every night then, though.
It's true. It's
up
true.
to, not for Kevin though. Kevin gets those subs quick.
Yeah. Yeah, up to 18 minutes. That's true.
Yeah.
Looking for
But I
quick
mean, so
submissions.
to Wallow's point, I mean, obviously saw we saw Evan in season 3. Anakin is an example from last season, season 5. Got out of there, got broke pretty quick. We keep
Had a
telling
concussion. Somebody had a concussion.
That was
um,
our boy Carson.
Oh, yeah. Carson,
Carson,
hope you're doing good,
Carson
man.
after that
Sorry,
first season, he's doing good now. But here, part of the problem is that he was coming off a bunch of injuries, and so he didn't have the the reps and the training as he wanted to coming up. But obviously,
Yeah,
it's okay. I mean,
whatever the case, the dude had a concussion. That's all you got to know. Shit happens.
Jeez.
So the point being is that as Wallow said, you cannot treat this like a one-day tournament. And
Yeah,
Kevin, you already get the
definitely.
mindset. You're smart. You figured this out. So the competitors that treat this like a one-day tournament, like a ADCC Open or something like that, like let's let a pop happen. Like, no, brother, you let that
Yeah.
happen. You're giving yourself a day off, and guess what? That day you take off,
It's going to be luxurious.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
gonna
really
be luxurious.
detrimental.
Me with Steven at that spa.
Oh.
However, you're
Imagine
gonna
the spas we can hit in Vegas, bro.
There
however,
you go.
sir, if you take that day off, you're gonna be so far behind the pack. It's gonna be hard to match. It's
Yeah.
gonna be hard to catch up. So again, you get the mindset. Just hey, you know what? Tap. You're good.
Yep.
And
sure.
then
No.
come smoke some other fools.
Elijah mentioned 2 weeks ago, about strategies. You
Mhm.
mentioned also that going, stalling somebody out, drawing him out, kind of a silly move because it's 6 minutes. But if you end up in the same team with your teammate, Elijah, and it comes to a point where you got to, strategize, and the call is to, hey, go get that draw. Are you going to go for that draw, or are you going to be like,
Oh,
nah,
no.
dog, I'm
Nah,
going for the
nah.
6?
Yeah, 100%. We're always going for the kill. I mean, this for me is just experience, you know? So trying to like game the rule set rather than get experience is really silly as a 22-year-old purple belt, you know? I'm really going out there and like trying to find like honestly trying to find holes in my game, see how people answer my game. I'm not even though it is 20K, 40K, and that is really nice, obviously. Yeah. I I expect to make much more than that in the future, and so finding, you know, these holes are more valuable than the money at the end of the day. That might sound a little cringy, but it is true.
No, hey,
no, no,
listen,
no, no, no.
we,
Hold on,
we,
hold
we
on.
So-
pointed it out earlier that there's another tournament paying 100 grand, and I
Yeah,
believe
exactly.
you're in it,
I
right?
mean, I'm gonna yeah, so it's qualifiers. I think
Okay.
everybody has to qualify. So there's
But
gonna be one qualifier where I'm gonna have to cut down to 160, which is not gonna be fun, but
I thought it's 170 as
uh,
well. Is it 170?
it's 160.
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. But we'll
so
get down
Hey,
there.
listen.
I heard someone say some one time, and it just really kind of stuck with me too, about like seminars or lessons or instruction or whatever it is, and like how much is like one technique, one concept, one thing that you'll get for someone that's doing jiu-jitsu professionally. Like how much is like a tool like that worth for you that
Exactly.
you'll get for life forever?
Exactly.
It'll be something that you'll always get to have. How much is that worth? And people is
Invaluable.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. It's hard for me to
Yeah.
put a price on it when you think about it that way, right?
Like
So
I couldn't
I get what
imagine
you're
like
saying 100%.
I couldn't imagine trying to put a price on like understanding Kazushi from the guard, you know? Like if I would much rather
Forever.
try to yeah, forever. Like I would much rather try to learn that than get 20K, you know, because that's what makes the guard fun. Is like off balancing people and attacking them from off balanced positions. So I think I
Otherwise,
completely
you're just
agree.
defending.
Yeah, yeah, I completely agree. I think the
Well, I
lessons
mean,
along the way.
that's all well and good until you have four members of your team and your coach saying, "Hey, Kevin, we need to win this round for this team point because we won this 100 grand. Hey, brother, if you can't win this thing, you
Oh,
need to
I'm
make sure
winning.
he doesn't get any
I'm winning.
points." I
I'm
mean,
winning.
okay,
I'm
okay,
subbing
Let's
the
fucking
dude.
go.
I
Yes.
got.
Yeah, I'm subbing the guy.
All
It's
right,
like,
all right.
fuck
He's-
everybody.
I'm
Yeah.
not
I'm coming
accepting
to
the premise of your
win.
question,
That's the
egghead.
stuff.
I'm not accepting the premise of your question. I got you.
I
Okay.
just
Hey,
gotta
ask Hodger. Hodger, how many times did you walk out there for a draw?
I'm just gonna yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Boom. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Good question.
All right. Well, we'll play it, sir. We'll play.
Oh shit, we just stole the show with that question.
I'm done. I got nothing anymore.
Hold on. We got a comment here. One of Roger's techniques is worth 20 years of blood, sweat, and
At
There you
least.
go. Mhm.
And Tiago also in his last comment said, "Hey, sometimes only a small tweak can set you 20 miles apart from the pack," which, like, essentially what Steven's saying. I mean,
It's
here's-
trajectory.
I mean, to your point, obviously, I've had to learn from blue belts because of like places I've been in or purple belts. But then you get that black belt instructor. Like we just had one training session last season with Steven. And the stuff that he was able to teach us. Yes, you good friend. Just getting that black belt level technique and that instruction is insanity compared to like a blue belt or purple belt instructor. And now you have four freaking legends as coaches. I can't imagine just the little bitty tweaks they can make to your game that is going to set you light years ahead of everyone else. So I'm excited for you, Kevin. I mean,
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
only to
me
come
too.
out and smoke all these people that like have these big names, because I know you're going to smoke some big names this year, but also to get those little tweaks from those legends. They're going to change your trajectory, sir.
Yeah,
Mine
I
too.
appreciate it, man. I'm very excited.
You've listened.
I'm gonna learn by
blow you
watching
up
y'all.
all this time. Does that you feel like he's putting a target on your back? Because that's what I feel like he's doing. He's just putting a target on your back. or you're like, fuck it, no, I'm
Kevin said
welcome.
he said
Let's
come and
go.
get it. Kevin said come and
Yeah.
get it. He said he's got
Yeah.
it. He's got it on him. He's got it on him. He's walking around. If you guys show up,
I don't
win that
know. I just
qualifier.
feel like it's added pressure for no reason. Egg, come on.
There is no
Nobody
pressure.
say he's coming to win.
There's nothing for him to lose here. It's all wins.
Hey,
Always.
guys.
Yep.
So first of all, I mean, we know that the auction draft is going to be, pretty much it's going to be like last season, right? It's going to be pretty much determined by our draft rankings. We're going to do a draft, and I'm not saying I'm not going to pick you first, Kevin. But if you slip past the second round, I will be surprised.
Oh, wait a minute. So now you're saying he's a second rounder? What the fuck?
All right, so
You
Kevin,
just
you
blew him up like he's gonna win the
Kevin,
whole shit, and now you're
Let
saying
me look at
he's
this
a
list
second
really
rounder?
quick.
He should be
it's
your first pick.
oh shush, Wallow. So Kevin, you already understood that. Like anytime you're with Wallow, watch out because he's gonna screw with you no matter what you say. And I live with this every week. But the thing is, so obviously, kind of like Elijah said. Elijah said he himself, who's the hoist of the PGF, should not win the season on paper, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Now, again, a lot of people, I already throughout your resume that a lot of people won't know. I mean, you need to work with your PR folks because when I Google your name in Jiu-Jitsu, I get about 3 videos and then I'm on somebody else.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I know where to look. I believe me, I'm doing my research. Not that I need to on you because we've seen you before, live. But a lot of the coaches, a lot of the competitors aren't. They're not going to know where to look. They're not going to be able to analyze your game. And so a lot of people are going to sleep on you. I'm just saying right now. I think a lot of people are, and they're going to be mistaken when you take their freaking legs home or do whatever the hell else you want to do. And so Wallow can say I'm putting a target in your back, but hey, we are the PGF Insiders. I am the #1 super fan of the PGF, and I'm a fan of you, Kevin. So we'll see. But I think you're going to do a lot better than a lot of people think, or people just don't even think. Go ahead.
So there's the qualifiers this Friday in Henderson, in Nevada, out in Vegas. Do you know anyone that's going out there to throw into on the qualifier? Have you guys looked at that at all? Are you looking for any of those guys?
Let me look at it. I have it
I
right here.
heard. Okay, there we go.
Yeah. Let me pull it up because I do have it. Percent share screen. All right. So you got Aaron Wilson, 34 years old, out of Soul Fighters headquarters.
Oh shit,
We
man.
got Manning,
Yeah,
Wyatt
Manning's really
Montgomery,
good. I've heard of him.
Darren
Yeah.
Horner. I believe he was in last year's qualifier in HQ, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
he was. He got injured.
Then we have Issa Abel. We have WWE's David Batista.
Not him.
Anthony-
We confirmed, but okay.
Yeah, I know. I was just kidding.
I know. For the record.
Anthony Salisbury. Then we have Austin Clark, Jimmy
Salisbury State
Green, Mason.
Jimmy Green is the Jimmy Green from Savannah, Kevin.
Oh, he had that match with Chase Hanna at season
At
finale
PGF finale, yep.
4, season 4. Yeah, okay, I remember him.
Oh
then
yeah,
we
yeah.
have-
Okay. I completely blanked. Yeah, yeah.
Yep. I know you know who he was
Wait.
once we mentioned that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mason Stritzel, Tyrell Anderson, Dakota Segree, Angel Ramos, Alvin Ye.
Watch out for him.
That's the 48-year-old. Yeah.
Yoked.
Brilliant, and killer. Watch out.
We got Fergus
metaphysicist.
Keaton, Donnie Bryan, Alvarado Pinedo, and last but definitely not least, our boy, Kevin Sherrill.
Never heard of her. Nah, that's crazy. I'm glad to see he's out there gonna go do that one.
Hey, listen, our boy wants in, so he's going out there.
This is the way.
This is the way.
Hanson
So,
Camden and
Nice.
Anaconda
There's
there.
a lot of people.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, listen,
That
it's
should be
100
good.
grand on the line. Of course, it's a
Yeah.
lot of people.
Aaron
Yeah,
Wilson's really
definitely.
tough.
Yes, I've heard nothing but great things about Aaron.
I get
Do you study a
Manning
lot, or does
Leverett.
Sean study a
Manning
lot?
Leverett. Oh, what were you saying? Sorry.
Do you study a lot independently, or do you just kind of study along with Sean after he's kind of taken the big chunks of things and kind of helped you out with that kind of stuff? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Sean studies a ton. Like
I know that, yeah.
he does like real tape study, you know. I sit there and watch matches and say, "Oh, I could have done that. I could have done this." But he does real tape study. I would say like if I'm working on something particular, I will watch like some of the best guys on that particular thing and watch how they do it. I think that helps me a lot. You know, like right now I'm working a lot on half guard passing. So it's a lot of watching Gordon Ryan,
A
get
lot
into
of
half
Stephen
guard.
Aiken, you know.
Yeah, Stephen Aiken, yeah, exactly.
Let's go.
But yeah, if I'm working guillotines, I'm gonna watch Marcelo. If I'm working leg locks, I'll watch Eddie Cummings, stuff like that. But not tape study like Sean,
Yeah, no, that's what I was kind of getting. I'm sure you watch some as well.
Yeah, I
But
watch some
I'm
tape.
sure Sean's probably gotten things really broken down to a minute level for you guys. You see it all the
Yeah,
time in
100%.
different guys' performances and different matches or whatever. It's tweaked,
Mhm.
randomly per person per matchup. It's really cool to see. So I was just curious how much of that is like self or is that all kind of working as the team thing, but that's really interesting.
Yeah, 100%. I get like all my knowledge from, or everything I try to learn is mostly from Sean. You know.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
So,
nah.
so you're a teammate of both Manning and Handsome Kevin in PGF Season 3. So, I mean, obviously we see they're both in the hunt for that qualifier. Who do you think wins between the two?
Honestly, I haven't really seen much of Cheryl like compete, or we don't really. He doesn't train here or anything, so I'm not sure about that. But I know Manning is always a killer, so I got Manning for the whole thing. Honestly, I love Manning.
Oh,
He's like,
Oh
yeah,
wow,
Wall
yeah,
was about
yeah,
to pull out that
for
Duval.
Pull
for
up
the
the
whole
hearts. Yeah,
qualifier.
pull the hearts.
Duval. Yeah.
Do I get to do
Yeah.
Duval for Manning if he goes out there? If he wins.
Yeah, I hope he does.
Duval
Yeah.
Paul was pretty good. I wish he
Yeah.
could win in the qualifier or a qualifier, and they would let me just for the walkout.
Well, I mean, you still got the Manaconda, Steven. I mean, you
I
can
know, but
always-
I just couldn't get a good rhythm with that one yet. I'm gonna have to work something out.
I mean, you can still say Duval, then throw out the Manaconda.
They don't have like a rhythm to it though.
Yeah, it don't quite go together.
Listen, Egg,
but-
this ain't some just big brain stuff. I gotta make this up on like and make it
It's
feel
an
good.
art. I got
It's
it.
not
You're,
just
you're an
stats.
artist.
You can't just write this up like that and make it good.
Okay, you like need some like iambic pentameter,
I'm a-
freaking Shakespeare over here.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Hey, before we
just
let
making
you
up words
go,
now.
my last question to you is, being that you've competed so much, Egg just gave your resume earlier on. What do you feel sets the PGF apart from everything else you've done?
I mean, honestly, I don't think it's just one thing. I think there's so many things that go into the PGF that sets it apart. I think that's why it's so special. I think the team aspect is super interesting. The fact that it's a week long, so people can get it's more of a build up, because if you watch, there's team aspects and quintets and stuff, but that's an hour long. It's 2 hours long. It's you kind of like watch it and then you're done, but the build up throughout the week is interesting, especially with like social media really popping off and stuff like this. Competing 3 times a day. I think there's a ton of things that set it apart. This podcast.
Well,
Obviously.
most tournaments,
Yeah, exactly.
when you're going in, you're not like, chummy with the team next door or whatever. You know,
Mhm.
you're out there to kill, but in the PGF, there's not. You know,
Yeah,
it's like
a tight
everybody's
community.
there for it's like a family.
Mhm.
Even though you're competing against each other, everybody's really cool. So it's kind of different than most tournaments where you're like me mugging the guy over there who's about to go with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
anyway,
I think that has a lot to do with it being a week long, you know? I think you can only put up that front of, like, me mugging and being a dickhead for so long until it's like, it's Wednesday, we're all fucking tired as shit, we've all gone through the same stuff, and,
it's
like, you
like let's
kinda
grab
get
a beer. Let's
yeah,
just be cool.
like, just chill out, you know? So,
Or let's
I
just
definitely
fist fight
think that
about it,
plays a
you
f
know?
yeah, for real.
For real, like if after like day 3 and we're all in
You
this
still hate
together or
each other?
whatever, yeah, and if you really just want to get it down,
Yeah, then
we
you
should
just
just allow
gotta
for it. Yeah.
there you go. A
Did,
CJJ
did,
match.
did y'all think that the Kamoy and the Minnesota Maniac were going to get into it when when the pushing and stuff happened?
Not
What's
really.
Or
good? What's good?
what's good?
Not saying that they wouldn't fight, but I didn't think that was gonna be a fight in that situation for real.
Okay. Well, right on. Egg.
I
Final
think
question.
Kamoy would win the fight though, just to say that.
Split up. Don't hurt us, Kamoy. We got you.
He
No,
old
I'm not saying
body,
that
yeah.
either. That's just respect to the dude's pedigree on that. I think he's got that from that realm of it all. This is as a guy who's fought too. Sometimes coming over to grappling and just grappling, guys will say stuff, and it's like, well, we could just start fighting if you really feel some kind of way, and then they don't feel that way anymore, and it's like, cool. So then let's just grapple, man. Shut up.
All right, don't mess with the MMA fighters. This is
No,
what
it's
Cedar's saying.
any dude that's going to stand on like principled stuff like that or whatever. It just doesn't have to be MMA guys, but I just respect Kamoy's fight pedigree. He's got one, and it's not like weak. So just wanted to throw that out there. It's that when I said that I don't think they were going to fight, I didn't want to make it sound like dude wouldn't fight. Like I think dude can fight and would fight, but I respect his game.
So,
Well, you didn't
so
think
the
it was
point was
gonna
that
happen.
the Minnesota Maniac was trying to like just make a little bit.
He was
for
just
himself.
goading him. Yeah, he was just
he's
trying to
just like,
make him.
hey, I'm not gonna let you just like run away. I'm gonna bring it to you, and then okay, he got a little bit of the response he wanted. Okay, Roger that.
It's not it's you will get a response that you didn't want if you really are like
if you push it too far. You push it too far. Yeah.
There's ways to draw out responses and things like that from people and strategies, but definitely if you put your hands on the wrong dude the wrong way, you're gonna catch a response immediately that you should catch if you're trying to be a certain. Exactly.
It's just Steven saying you're gonna catch.
If it just gets disrespectful, and if you if you're willing to cross that disrespectful line, then you should be ready for somebody to put hands on you. You got to defend the word. You got to defend the words you say, man. I'm sorry. I think there's things that you can say and do and whatever, but like if you put your hands on somebody, for sure, you got to be ready to take whatever's coming next. So if we're grappling, but if you start like smacking me around, then we'll just stand up and figure this out some other kind of way. Or I can keep you down here and start doing things too. That's the difference. Is that it changes. So
Man,
respect.
I'm glad you're on our team. Fuck.
Hell yeah.
No. I love jiu-jitsu and grappling because it's a super effective way to get people in positions that you can beat them up.
Wallace used to throwing me under the bus, but like now we got a real enforcer on the PGF Insider.
That's why I like you were saying
now.
about getting to the mount, getting on top, getting guys that even if they're running from the bottom. Okay, oh, you're running from me. I was on the bottom and you're trying to run away. No, son, we're gonna get up, we're gonna catch that leg, trip you, take you down something, get a body lock, something, and then we're gonna finish the fight as soon as this mount happens right here on the bottom. So yeah,
I mean
that's good jiu-jitsu and where I live too.
When we were talking about fights, I mean, if you want to talk about real fight, I mean, talk about freaking the Rock Troll, Maximus Jolly, and Noah Randolph.
I saw that clip.
Whoo! I'm like,
Yeah.
dang, get these guys some gloves.
Who threw the first club?
I gotta think
It was Max, right?
It had to be
Yeah.
Maximus. So he'd gone into his head a little bit. Remember
Yeah.
that third day, it was a rough day for him.
Mm.
He just kind of, I think he went a little internal. I mean, hey, day 4 he came out, was a champ again. You know, you obviously saw, you know, his whole team, like, you know, epic role, like I put him on his shoulders, and we all love Maximus Jolly. But we all know, like, that third day he had a day. You know, sometimes
Yeah.
people have a day. You know, got in his head a little bit, and you know, Noah, who we all know, is you know, tough as nails. Even when he was a 16-year-old in PGF season 1, he's a hard guy to finish, and he's just gonna keep coming after you. I mean, and he did that the whole PGF even season 5 against like serious killers. He just keeps coming after people. And so I think that got to Maximus a little bit. But hey, you know what? They figured it out. It was all good. But pardon me, because Wally, you did ask about my final question. So I mean, maybe this is just kind of a little open-ended, maybe a little trite, but I mean, Kevin, with all the stuff that's going on, I mean, $100,000 on the line, another 20 for the finale winner, 4 legends of jiu-jitsu as coaches, and this insane big names that are coming into the PGF world now. What are you looking forward to the most for the season?
I mean, straight up, just really the most is just the competition, like the high level guys. I'm very excited to test myself against such high level competition. That, like, put it simply, that's it.
You know, test yourself in the
Steven?
fires, man.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yep.
Go ahead.
100%.
No, that's good. Yeah, for sure. I think I rambled all the things off kind of that popped up into my brain for the most part, man. But I respect that. You're going to get guaranteed matches against high level competitors that you've not gotten to go against, with a bunch of various skill sets in a high, you know, high energy, intense, you know, lots of pressure kind of situation. So definitely, man, for someone who's young like you, who's got a future, you know, that they see in the sport, like you said, you know, willing to learn now for later. I think this is, you know, a huge opportunity for you as a student of the game. And man, all respect going into it, and much love for sure to you, man. I'm happy to see that you're getting this opportunity, and I'm excited to be there with you.
Sweet. Thank you, man. Appreciate it, Steven.
We have a question from our boy Tiago. It says, quick question for Kevin. Are you expecting to be dragged into deep waters and coming back to surface with a shark fin? Or are you confident no competition can even scratch the surface? So that's
Oh,
two
I
questions,
mean,
actually.
yeah, I mean, definitely, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's hard to drag anyone into deep waters. Like, when you really talk about deep waters, I think in like the traditional sense, you're talking about what Gordon does to people, what Habib does to people, like, you know, getting them exhausted and just like wanting to quit. It's pretty hard to do that to people in 6 minutes.
Mhm.
People tend not to get tired in 6 minutes, especially with high level competition. It's more, I would say, more finesse based and more you got to get to the submission quickly. So I don't intend to make someone tap to pressure in 6 minutes, you know, but I do intend to sub a lot of people.
Within a minute.
I do intend for it to be hard. Like, I'm not saying that at all, but realistically, like, I'm not gonna just sit there and lay on somebody for 6 minutes. You know, I'm gonna try to break them.
Wallow, if I could follow.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, so to your point, as you pointed out, because you already know there's no deep waters, quote unquote, in 6 minutes. So you're already thinking like a PGF veteran.
Yeah.
You know the game, and so to that point, being a veteran, already having done a season, how does that, you know, position you compared to everyone else?
I mean, getting the experience in such a unique rule set is invaluable. I think there are a lot of little things that people don't really take into account that can really impact your competition throughout the week. So I'll give you an example, and I might be snitching on myself because somebody might have made this mistake, but listening to this, they won't. Um, the first PGF I did treat it like a 1-day competition. And for competition days, I don't eat. Like I don't really eat because you don't want your stomach upset when you get out there and you get the jitters and you don't want to feel like you're throwing up, right? Um, and then about Wednesday or Thursday, I figured out that throughout the entire week, I really only eaten so many calories, like 2,000 calories. I usually eat 3,000 calories a day. So then like during Wednesday, I was wondering like, why am I so tired right now? Like, why am I almost falling asleep, like going out into competition? And it was because I eaten, a child worth of food throughout a week long competition. And there's a bunch of little things like that, things you would never think about that I'll be prepared for this time that I wasn't prepared for last time.
That's a huge point. I mean, the elbow genie Jonathan Roberts said the same thing. He said, he lost weight during, especially at season 3.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
just
yeah,
could not keep the
exactly.
weight on.
Yeah, so just remembering to eat. Like this sounds something super stupid and simple, but it's extremely important.
Yeah, I think a lot of people who don't compete very hard at a really high level of things perhaps even don't understand that you would prefer to be empty a little bit, at least in
Yeah,
your gut and stuff, instead of having a bunch of stuff like obviously inside you that you're using for energy to digest. You want to already have all that stuff done too. Like
right,
you use
right,
a bunch of energy to just digest some food. So the things that you even eat throughout this week are going to be
right.
like
Gonna play a
really
factor for
important
sure.
too, right? So if you eat heavy things that take a lot of like energy to digest every night after we get done, or the day of, if you have to eat, a lot pre-game to load it up somehow in the morning for the night. I'm not sure what guys' strategies will be. It will affect you because I mean we've seen it, and I've definitely done it in other situations where you'll either overeat or undereat, like you said, and either one can be bad for
Yeah, yeah, for
competition.
sure.
So it's really a hard science with that. The deep water doesn't exist match to match. It exists over the 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, exactly. That was really well put, honestly. Yeah.
No, it's a
All
veteran
right.
right there.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
He knows the game. But listen, before we go, why don't you give a shout out to your sponsors? We know you got sponsors, bro. Shout out to your
Only got
team.
one right now. But yeah.
Hey,
Thank
hey,
you, Papa
listen.
Beuhring. We appreciate you
Yeah, Big
so
Daddy.
much.
Oh,
Big Daddy,
yeah,
our
yeah,
number
my
one
Yeah.
main
fan.
sponsor. Yep.
Yeah, that's your main sponsor, bro. So,
Yeah, that is
God
my main
bless.
sponsor. Big Daddy.
so
Shout out Big Daddy.
yeah, whoever.
Yeah, well, shout out to my sponsors like Lock Assassins. They're great, sending me the best gear I've could ever imagine. Shout out to Sean Applegate, always being there for me, coaching me through this stuff. My team for pushing me, and my family for supporting me, and my girlfriend for putting up with all my shit. Yeah, thank you guys.
So if you League Lock Assassins, you follow them Assassins Apparel on Instagram.
Yep,
If you want to
yep.
look them up,
Assassins
look up.
Apparel, and they have a Leg Lock Assassins account too. They got
They're
two.
blowing
check.
up.
I've seen both. It's
They're blowing
nice
up.
stuff. But hey, Alex, Big Daddy, looking forward to seeing you out in
Yep.
Vegas, brother.
My dad.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But we that's how I know everything about you, my man. It's hard to find you online, but I get the inside
Yeah.
scoop.
Yeah,
got
I'm sorry. I'm
sourced.
not too responsive on Instagram or anything, but I try to get better about that stuff.
Right on.
Cool.
Well, listen, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate the questions in the chat, and we'll catch you next week. Peace.
All right. Thank you,
Adios,
guys.
muchachos. Hasta